Hi students, it's Mrs. Girot, and I'm just going to teach you really quick how to install Blender on your computer and how to download and unzip your resources. So you're going to open up your internet browser. So for example, I use Chrome. So I just open that up and I'm going to just do www.blender.org, and you'll notice it says download Blender. I'm going to go ahead and download the 64-bit installer. I'm hoping that my computer will be able to handle it. If it won't handle it, I'll end up uninstalling it later, and I'll install the 32-bit instead. So just click download, and what happens is you're going to just click your downloads folder and save, and you won't have to replace it because it's your first time. And then you'll notice that mine is on my bottom left hand corner of my browser window. It's downloading right now. After it's downloaded, you're going to click on that folder, and then you'll probably be prompted, if you have a school computer, it'll probably ask you if you give permission for this program to make changes to your computer, and you're going to say yes. And then that came up as a little shield on this taskbar at the bottom. It was blinking and flashing at me. I just clicked on that, and then I clicked yes, and then it automatically started the installer, and I had to click next a couple of times. I had to click and check the box that I accept the terms of the user agreement, and then when it was finished, I had to click the word finish. Okay, so that is how you install it. Now you're also going to need to download your resources. So you want to open up your Windows Explorer, and this is kind of important. You need to put it on your D drive. Hopefully you have a D drive. If you've got a school computer, you do. Otherwise, you can put it on a C drive. If you have an L drive, whatever it is, mine's a D drive. I've got a 3D modeling folder that I've created. You can make new folders just by right-clicking and go New Folder, and then you just name it. So here's my 3D modeling folder, and this is where I'm going to download my resources. Okay, so now that I've got my folder made, I'm just going to go into the site. So here's my 3D modeling class, and I'm not sure what your content's going to look like. I might not change anything. So if it looks like this, great. Otherwise, you're just looking for the semester introduction and where it says download resources. So wherever download resources is, just click there. And there's going to be a little link. You'll click on that. Okay. And we already did that. We did that right from the Blender website. So just clicking project resources down at the bottom here, and I need to save that in that D folder in the 3D modeling. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and click save, and then you'll notice that I have a zip folder down here. I'm just going to click open for now, and you'll notice that it's just a normal looking folder. So we're gonna follow the breadcrumb trail back and click on our original 3D modeling folder. When I do that, you'll notice that that is a zipped folder. Okay, right click on that zipped folder and then select extract all. And do I want to put that in my 3D modeling Blender resources? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and click extract, and boom. Woohoo! There it is. Let me go back to that 3D modeling folder, and I'll show you what that looks like. So there's my unzipped resources, and there's my zipped resources. So I'm not going into the zipped resources, okay? I'm going to go into the unzipped resources. That is where I'm going to find all of the resources that you'll be prompted to look for Hopefully. That's where we'll find them all. Like, here's a Suzanne document that you're going to see in the very, very first lesson that gets into using Blender. So once you've downloaded your resources and you've downloaded Blender, or you've installed Blender, then you're going to go ahead and double click on it and go File, Open. And now we're going to look for the resources that we just downloaded. There should be a 3D modeling folder here. There's our resources folder. And there's the Suzanne. Ah, Suzanne the monkey. All right, perfect. So what I like to do when I am doing my lessons is I like to size down my Blender or whatever program that I'm doing. And some people have a fancy snap feature that they like to use, which is a wonderful feature. Okay, then I can go into my table of contents and get right to that first project. So there's project 1. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Getting Started. Unit Introduction, project 1. Now, most of the pages in this lab, you'll open Suzanne the monkey and use Blender's tools to move around in 3D space. So, you'll notice, you'll start by looking at an example of a 3D object. Complete the steps below to open a Blender file. If Blender is already open, skip the first step. Okay, so we already opened it up together. But if you are coming back fresh and you can't remember how to do it, you're just going to click. If you click on the video, it doesn't do anything. But if you click on the link here and that link, you're probably going to have to go ahead and expand it. Or, let's see. Nope, I had to expand it. So this is the reason why it is so cool to have 2 monitors, because you could literally have the lesson open on one monitor and Blender open on the other, so you weren't having to toggle between. But toggling is pretty easier. You just hold Alt and click Tab. Well, there you go. Yeah, and then release, and it will toggle between the 2 windows. So Alt Tab, Alt Tab, Alt Tab. You have to release. So watch your video.
In this screen, I am going to show you how to open the Suzanne.blend.
Where we're in that lesson. So you've got your Suzanne open, and it's going to do some lessons. It's going to talk about the difference between object mode and edit mode. It's going to show you how to switch to object mode. I'll just go ahead and do this one lesson together here.
In this screen, I am going to show you how to switch to object mode. At the bottom of the 3D view window, left-click the mode list and select object mode. You might need to right-click the monkey to select it first. You can also press Tab to switch back and forth between object mode and edit mode. After you've switched between the 2, make sure to end in object mode.
Fantastic. So then Alt-Tab, head on over to your window here, and then practice. So what I would like you to do is to work through these lessons, watch your video, and then go back to your Blender window and practice each thing that you learn in the videos. That's the only way that you're really going to learn how to do it, is to watch the videos and practice. I found an error on this clearly this is not the front view. This is the top view, right? This is the, yeah, this is, it says front right here, right? But it's not, it's top view. We're looking at right here is the Z axis that goes to the front and then to the back, and we're looking at the X axis that goes left and right. Okay, the side view looks to be correct. That would be the face. This looks like it might be the, I'm guessing that's the Z axis and that's the Y axis. Okay, and then the top, see, yeah, this isn't top, this is face view. So sometimes when you're going through this content, you're going to see mistakes. Just know that mistakes happen in here. Mrs. Girot's not going to be able to do anything about it. This is bigger than me. I can't fix any of the stuff that's in here. So this one is obviously the front view, not the top view, because we're looking at a monkey's face. That's the front. So we've got the Y-axis and we've got the X-axis. So try to ignore little mistakes like that that you might come across when you're doing it. Just try to play around and get comfortable with it. I'm going to tell you right now, getting used to working in 3D, it takes a little bit of practice. So plan on getting in here and practicing every single day, because then it starts to become second nature, using the shortcuts that they're going to teach you in here, using your scroll buttons, when to hold down control, all of those little shortcuts. The only way to learn it is to practice it. So please plan to spend at least an hour a day doing your lessons in here. Let's take a look at Project 2 real quick at a glance. Project 2 has getting started, transform a 3D object, save files, create a 3D object, render 3D objects, and then it talks about a quiz, and then it's got some assignments. I can't guarantee that I'm going to do this particular assignment, but we might. This is my first time teaching this class, and sometimes if you have been with us for a while, you know that sometimes they've got a semester's worth of work in one block. So I do a lot of editing. All of your teachers probably do a lot of editing of the classes if they're teaching block classes, and that's the reason why sometimes you feel like it's too rigorous, because normally they'd be a semester long. So as I'm going through this, I might be making changes. I'll be working through it with you and hopefully be able to answer your questions. If you're having any issues, get your questions to me. Just write them down and email them to me as they come along. If it's something that I might be able to help you with right away, give me a call on the phone and say, hey, I'm in 2.03 Lab 3 save files, and I'm trying to save my file, and this is happening. What could I do? You're welcome to call me. You're welcome to text me. You're welcome to email me. We'll figure this out together, okay? But one of the things that I have learned from using programs on school computers is that when they're not functioning properly, saving often helps, because it alleviates some of the RAM. If you have a lot of folders that are saved onto your computer and you have a hard drive that you can take all of your work and transfer onto a hard drive and take it off of your computer, that will free up some memory. Whatever you can do to free up memory, clearing your cache. So going into your browser's little ... more tools, clear browsing data. You want to have browsing history, download history, cached images and files, cookies, and other site data from the beginning of time. Clear your browsing data. That helps with your RAM. Restarting your computer, closing out all other programs. Yeah, and then just whatever you're doing, file, save as, and make a practice work folder. That you can just save things into your practice work folder so you can go back and work on them And every time you save something, change the name. So like if this was, you know, something I worked on yesterday and now I'm working on it again, day 2, I'm going to change the name of it to day 2 and save it. Click save as a Blender file. And the reason why I want to save it as a different name is because I don't want to save over what I did in day 1 just in case I mess something up. At least I'll have all the work I did from day 1, right? Saved properly. So it's a really good habit to get into when you're working in digital graphics programs, any of that, to just every time you're working and starting over again, save it with a new name so that you don't lose anything that you've done previous if you make some kind of mistake. That's all I'm going to say about that. You got it downloaded, do your work, get in there, use it every single day this week. Give me feedback, let me know how it's going for you. Best of luck!